All right. Good morning, everybody. Um, so for today's warm up, you're going to complete a pattern example packet. And for day one of this warm up, you're only required to do 6. Now, when I say 6, I don't actually mean to color these in. That's a awesome option, and a lot of students have taken that and done that, and I think that's great. But what I would like for you to do is to actually come over here and separate your packet so that you have your practice your patterns sheet here, and then right next to it you have your pattern examples. Okay, and what you're going to do is just take a look through all these different patterns. Okay, there's a front and a back. And I want you to pick a pattern that you like, but you're also comfortable trying. So I'm going to pick an easy one for me. It might not be easy for others, but I really like this one here with the bubbles. So what I'm going to do is take a colored pencil or regular pencil, and I'm going to use a colored pencil because eventually these will be colored. And I'm going to go and just draw a bunch of circles in my first box right here. And I'm going to fill the whole area in with different sizes. I'm going to mess around with the proportion, meaning the different size of each circle to make it a little more interesting than just drawing the same size circle everywhere. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I need to add some color. A lot of times people have just been kind of coloring in the elements or the shapes. You also need to take into consideration you've got a nice big background here too. So since I drew my circles with black colored pencil, I'm going to make a black background. I'm just going to slowly start to shade in my background. And you can hold your pencil like you would if you were writing, or you could do it the way I went over last class on how you do your gradients using the side of the lead. Depending on what you do with your pattern, it may be more beneficial to cover more area the way I'm shading now with the side of my lead, or if you have a lot of small spaces, it might make more sense to use the tip of your pencil like you would if you were writing. And I'm going to fill in all the background here. And while I'm doing this, I also would like for you to be thinking about what sorts of colors you would like to incorporate into the artwork. Meaning, do I want all of my circles to be the same color? Or maybe I want to have different colored circles. Maybe I want to have a specific theme. And when I say theme, I mean color scheme, actually, which might be maybe I do warm colors, such as red or orange or yellow. Or maybe I want to do cool colors, such as blue, green, and purple. Maybe I want to use colors that create an emotion, meaning like I'm feeling kind of passionate or energized today. So I'm going to use a warm a warm color scheme. Or maybe today I'm feeling a little more kind of relaxed, calm, maybe a little sad. Could use some blues in there. All right, so my background is now colored. So I'm going to set my colored pencil to the side. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick some colors that are kind of cool. Because because I like a cool color scheme. So I'm going to use blue, some green, some turquoise. Let's see, what color is this? And some purple. All right, and I'm just going to come in here and just start coloring in my circles. And you'll notice I'm using the tip of my pencil because the area that I'm filling in is much smaller than my background. There may be a couple circles where I could use this side of my coloring pencil, but I'm just going to stick with the tip of the colored pencil for this. And I'm just coming in here and I'm filling it in. Another thing you might want to think about is maybe you mix up what you put inside the circles. Maybe you put like a pattern or design inside the circle. Make it a little more complex. Now that's something you don't have to do, but if you want to make it maybe a little more interesting, you could explore that option. I know there's at least one pattern in the packet where it's circles like this, but there are designs inside of each circle. So I'm almost done. We'll do one more. There you go. So there's my first pattern. The next thing is you're going to complete 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they need to be done for day 1 of our warm-ups. So I have actually gone ahead and done 6. All right, so you can see here some more examples. I wish I would have moved a little slower on these. There are a lot of white spots. That said, I've got 6 done here. That's the objective for day 1. If you do find that you're finished and people are still working or we're not ready to move on, I would recommend maybe coloring in some of your patterns here. So like one thing, I'm going to come down here and color in some of these elements. And this is just a nice way to kind of take up some time, but as silly as it may sound, coloring in is actually a great way to practice your fine motor skills, which is about how well you can control the pencil or marker or paintbrush in your hand. So really just kind of take your time and try to fill this in nicely. But you know what? I just realized I forgot to do my background. And in painting, and I would also say in drawing, you should definitely shade the background first because it's a lot easier, and then go in and over top color in the different elements. So I'm going to stop here. That's your day 1 for the pattern examples. And when you're finished this, we'll talk about what we're going to do next.